Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Children. I don't know
Good
why.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. Only Sindhu, Sanjay, Madhumita, and Dhanya are there in the meeting. The others have not still joined, but it's time. So I was just waiting because we're starting a new concept. We're going to learn about the properties of different types or special quadrilaterals. We finished this one, right, children?
Yes, ma'am.
This is over. Okay. These are over, right? Look into your book and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we finished all this. Okay. Diagonals. Did we talk about this, children? Number of sides is equal to 360 by each exterior angle? No, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we understood this, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think we have to do this. This we have not completed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So in this figure, find the angle measure x. So you can use the property straight away. You can see what is ABCD.
Ma'am,
Yes.
we have completed this one also, ma'am.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Oh, yeah, we've done all this. Okay. Okay, then I think we can start off with a new topic, quadrilaterals. Meaning understanding the properties of special quadrilaterals. Let me have a look. Yeah, take a picture of this answer. Work this in your book. Work this, we'll understand the working in the next class, because it's not enough if you see that there's a quadratic equation here, n square minus 3n minus 54 is equal to 0. So I need to give you a few situations. Only then you will know how to factorize such equations. So simply write this in your notebook. We'll understand how to solve this in some other class. Take a picture. Also take a picture. You can complete this.
Ma'am, we completed, ma'am.
Yeah, take a picture of this one too. In question number 8, each interior angle measures 108 degrees. Each interior angle measures 108 degrees. So you need to find how many sides it has. We are given that each interior angle is 108. Each interior angle is 108. This is what is given to us. And when each interior angle is given, it's understood it's a regular polygon. It's understood it's a regular polygon. Each interior angle is 108 degrees. How do we find each interior angle? 2n minus 4 into 90 by n, or n minus 2 into 180 by n. See, this is the formula to find the sum of all the angles, all the interior angles of a polygon. 2n minus 4 into 90. Divide by n. Or you can also write n minus 2 into 180. The numerator can be n minus 2 into 180. N minus 2 into 180. Or it can be 2n minus 4 into 90. Because both the expressions will give us the sum of all the interior angles of any polygon. Divide by n to find each interior angle, divide by n. Okay, now your question may be like why I have used this. Just to understand how, when we take up this expression, just to show you how it is worked, that's all. Just to show you how the working goes. So the numerator is the formula to find the sum of all the interior angles of any polygon. Divide by n. This you can do only if it's a regular polygon. So when you divide by n, you get this one gives the magnitude of each interior angle, the value of each interior angle, and that is equal to 108. That is equal to 108. So how do we solve this? First, the 90 here in the numerator is taken to the other side. It comes to the denominator, to the other side. See here, 90 into 90. So it comes to the other side in the denominator. So it is written as 108 by 90. That's the first step. You can see the other terms there. 2 into n is 2n. 2 into minus 4 is. Okay, here I think, what have I done?
Ma'am, it's minus 8, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm wrong in calculating. Okay, let me correct the slide, children. Okay, let's take up this in the next class. Let me correct this and then do it. Okay, this is, you can just solve this and find the value of n. You can solve this and find the value of n. The other method is when you know each interior angle, you can find each exterior angle. How do we find each exterior angle? 180 minus each interior angle. So 180 minus 108. When you know the measure of each interior angle, you can find the measure of each exterior angle. Each exterior angle is equal to 180 minus each interior angle. 180 minus each interior angle. So 180 minus 108, 72 degrees. So the measure of each exterior angle, the measure of each exterior angle is 72. And what's the formula to find the measure of each exterior angle?
360 degree by n.
360 by n. So now we equate 360 by n is equal to 72. You can work this, and you can when you work this 360 by n is equal to 72, you will get n is equal to 360 by 72, which is 5. So you can do it in both the ways. I just wanted to show you the different ways of handling this question. Let me see if I have another one worked correctly. Okay. No, actually, I'll tell you, I just wanted to, my intention was to show the working using this formula as well as this formula. That's why I had taken up, the other one there, and here n minus 2 into 180 by n, just to show you how the working goes. So see here, each interior angle is given. See, you can find the number of sides using the information given here, each interior angle, or you can find the measure of each exterior angle and do it. Both the ways you will get the same answer. Then why I have done like this, just to understand how to work. If we have to do it like this, then how do we continue? What are the steps to get the answer? All right, so here each interior angle is 135. So write out that each interior angle is 135. Whenever the measure of each interior angle is given, the polygon is a regular polygon. Is a regular polygon. Each interior angle is 135. How do we find each interior angle? N minus 2. N minus 2 into 180 will give us the total of all the interior angles. Divide by n. This expression will give you the measure of each interior angle. This one is equal to 135. This is equal to 135. Now cross multiply. So here 180 into n is 180n. 180 into minus 2 is minus 360. Cross multiply is equal to 135n. See here 180 into n is 180n. 180 into minus 2 is minus 360 is equal to cross multiply 135n. Now gather the n terms on one side because you have to find the value of n. So take the n terms to one side. So 180n we have here. This 135n is transposed minus 135n is equal to minus 360 on the other side plus 360. So on subtracting, these are like terms 180n, 135n, like terms. So 45n is equal to 360. N is equal to 360 over 45, n is 8. So it's a regular octagon. It's a regular octagon. So let me just, maybe I'll forget then in the next class when we start off the next topic. Let's just do it here. So just imagine this 2 inside the bracket, that's all. Just put this 2 inside the bracket, that's it. So, okay, so 2n minus 4 into 90. 2n is inside the bracket. 2n minus 4 in one bracket it is. 2n minus 4 in one bracket. That's all, that's the mistake. I have not placed the bracket correctly. The bracket should come here. 2n minus 4 into 90. I hope you understand, children. Tell me yes or no. The other form,
Yes,
the other formulas, 2n minus 4 in a bracket. 2n minus 4 in brackets into 90. So by n, from here it's fine. Here I went wrong in placing this bracket. Okay, so this 2 is inside the bracket. So 2n minus 4 into 90 by n, each interior angle is equal to 108. Each interior angle is 108. So 2n minus 4 in brackets into 90 by n is equal to 108. So how do we work this? This 90 comes for division to the other side. So we have this in bracket, we have no 2n minus 4. So that is here 2n minus 4. What you have in the bracket here, 2n minus 4 by n is equal to 108 by 90. 90 comes to the other side for division. Now, when you simplify this, you get 6 by 5. When you reduce this, you get 6 by 5. In the tables of 18, 18 5s are 90, 18 6 are 108. You need not use 18 straight away. You can divide by 2 and then divide by 3, divide by 3. Like that, you can complete this. So you'll get 6 by 5. Now cross multiply. Cross multiply. So you'll get 5 into 2n minus 4. So that will be 10n minus 20. We know how to do this, right, children? Cross multiplication. We finish linear equations. You should be able to do this. Cross multiply. 5 into 2n is 10n. 5 into minus 4 minus 20 is equal to 6 into n is 6n. Cross multiply. 5 into 2n, 10n. 5 into minus 4 minus 20 is equal to 6n. Now transpose n, the 6n to the left hand side. So 10n minus 6n is equal to 20. So 4n is 20, n is 20 by 4, which is 5. So what kind of a polygon is it?
Pentagon, ma'am.
It's a
Pentagon, ma'am.
no, it's not just a pentagon.
Regular
It's not-
pentagon, ma'am.
Yeah, it is
Regular
a regular, it is a regular pentagon. It is a regular pentagon. Take a picture, children? So just start working with whatever is given. Each interior angle is given. So each interior angle is 108. This is given. Write the formula for each interior angle of a polygon. Write the formula. Write the formula is equal to 108. Solve this and find n. When you get 5, so that means the polygon has 5 sides. So again here, each interior angle, we've used a different formula, n minus 2 into 180 by n. This is the formula to find the measure of each interior angle is equal to 135. Cross multiply, solve and find the value of n. So you can also do this. What's the other method, children? Tell me. How do you find the number of sides using the measure of the exterior angle?
2n minus 4 into 90 degree, ma'am.
No. If the interior angle is 135 degrees, what is the measure of the exterior angle?
Ma'am, we will minus 135 from 180, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me the answer. What is 180 minus 135?
45 degree, ma'am.
45 degrees. 45 degrees. So each exterior angle is equal to 45 degrees. What's the formula to find each exterior angle?
360 by n, ma'am.
Yeah. So now what should you do? You have 45 degrees, you have 360 by n. Now what should you do? "45 degrees is the measure of each exterior angle. And each exterior angle, the formula is 360 by n. Now what do you do with 360 by n and 45?
360 by n is equal to 45 degrees, ma'am.
Yeah, 360 by n is equal to 45. So when you work that, see, you will get the same thing. N is equal to 360 by 45, n is 8. You will get the same thing. When you work that, you will get n is equal to 360 by 45, n is 8. It's a regular octagon. Yeah, children, you should be able to do this. We have finished linear equations. So take a picture. Homework.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'll mostly have linear equations for exam in school, ma'am. So can I have some special classes for linear equations?
Maybe I'll share the recordings with you. I'll just let you know. I'll communicate with you on WhatsApp, Madhumita. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, children, take a picture of this one. Work all this. Yeah, take a picture of this one also. Yeah, take a picture. Yeah, now you may write whatever we discuss in your notebook. Give the heading special types of quadrilaterals. Give the heading special types of quadrilaterals. Special types of quadrilaterals. Yeah, write down. First one, parallelogram. Parallelogram. Under that, just say one. First point, both pairs of opposite sides equal. Or you can write parallel first. Both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Second point, both pairs of opposite sides equal.
Ma'am, can you repeat that, ma'am?
Yeah, give the heading special types of quadrilaterals. Under that, first one, parallelogram. Yeah, we are trying to list out the properties. We are trying to list out the properties of a parallelogram. So the first one, both pairs, BOTH, both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Second point, both pairs of opposite sides equal. Third one, both pairs of opposite angles equal. Both pairs of opposite angles equal. Diagonals, fourth one, diagonals unequal.
Ma'am, the diagonals are unequal, right, ma'am?
Yeah, diagonals unequal. Yes, diagonals unequal. Next, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. In bracket, diagonals bisect each other. Then in brackets, you write not at right angles. Not at right angles. Yes, Kirtana, what is the first point in your book?
Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel.
Okay, Madhumita, what's the second point?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I couldn't note it down, ma'am. My meeting got disconnected suddenly.
Okay. No, I was asking you, what is the second point in your book?
Ma'am, I couldn't take notes.
Okay. What's the second point? Devadarshini? What's the second point, Raja?
Ma'am,
Sanjay?
can I say?
Sanjay, what's the second point?
Both pairs of opposite sides are equal.
Very good. Sindhuja, what's the third point?
Both pairs of opposite angles are equal.
Very good. Dhanya, fourth one?
Both pairs of diagonals bisect each other, ma'am.
Both pairs of diagonals. I didn't say both pairs of diagonals. Both the diagonals. Both the diagonals. No, I didn't say both. I didn't say both. I just said diagonals bisect each other.
Diagonals bisect
Yeah,
each other,
diagonals
but
bisect each
at
other.
right angles.
In brackets, but not at right angles. But not at right angles. How many points do you have in your book, children?
Ma'am, one
4
more.
points,
Yeah, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, that's what. No, how many points in all you have in your book?
5, ma'am.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the last one?
Diagonals are
Equal,
unequal.
ma'am.
Diagonals are unequal. Diagonals are unequal. So these are the properties of a parallelogram. We have more properties. This is enough for standard 8. So in a parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Both the pairs of opposite sides are equal. Diagonals are unequal. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other, in brackets, not at right angles. And both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. Now apply the properties. Apply the properties to the figure you see on the screen and tell me. Now the first point is opposite, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So like I'll say like this, AB is parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD, correct? Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, which means AB is parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD. Correct, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, one of you say that. The first point means use this figure to understand.
Ma'am, can I say, ma'am?
Yes, please.
AB is parallel to DC and DA is parallel to BC.
Okay, DA is parallel to BC. All right. That's what is the first property. The second one, opposite sides equal.
Ma'am, opposite sides are equal, ma'am.
Yeah. So use this figure to explain that. So then in this figure, AB is equal to CD and
AD is equal to CB, ma'am.
tell me both again.
AB is equals to DC. AD is equals to CB.
Okay, good. What's the next one?
Both pairs of opposite angles are
Both
equal.
sides are the opposite sides are equal, ma'am.
That is over. We just finished opposite sides are equal.
Opposite angles, ma'am.
Yeah, opposite angles are equal. So in this figure, which are the equal angles?
Angle DAB and angle TBA, ma'am.
Correct. We'll just use a single letter. Angle A. Angle A is equal to?
Angle
C, ma'am.
Angle A is equal to angle C. And then Angle B is
B is equal to angle D.
angle D. Angle B is equal to angle D. Okay. Angle A is equal to angle C. Angle B, that is this angle. Angle A is equal to this angle, opposite angle, angle C. And then angle B is equal to angle D. So what we've understood so far is this side AB is parallel to CD and this side BC is parallel to AD. Opposite sides are both parallel and equal. They're also equal. And then opposite angles, angle A is equal to angle C, angle B is equal to angle D. Name the diagonals of the parallelogram here. Which are the diagonals?
DB and AC, ma'am.
DB and AC. Are they equal or unequal? DB and AC.
Unequal, ma'am.
Yeah, they're unequal. They're not be equal. In a parallelogram, the diagonals are unequal. AC and BD. Diagonals AC. Diagonal AC and BD, they are not equal. Then what else you have? They don't bisect. They bisect each other, but not at right angles. In a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other, but not at right angles. When we say they bisect each other, that means they cut each other equally. Diagonal, you have the diagonal AC. Diagonal AC is bisected by BD. That means the diagonal BD cuts AC into two equal halves. And similarly, diagonal AC cuts the diagonal BD into two equal halves. One diagonal cuts the other diagonal into two equal halves. That's what we mean by saying diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. One diagonal cuts the other diagonal equally. Now, when you draw this diagonal, 1 second. All right, children. So when the diagonal is connected, AC and this diagonal BD. So when the diagonals are connected, one diagonal cuts the other diagonal equally. So one diagonal bisects the other diagonal. So diagonal BD cuts the diagonal AC into two equal halves. Diagonal AC cuts the diagonal BD into two equal halves. So they bisect one another. They bisect each other. But the angle between the diagonals is not a right angle. So we'll understand these properties when we take up when we take up numerical situations. So these are about the properties of a parallelogram. Now, if a quadrilateral is given to you, if you're given a quadrilateral, okay, if you're given a quadrilateral and asked to check if it is a parallelogram, you don't have to check all these properties. If a quadrilateral is given to you and you have to check if it is a parallelogram or not, you don't have to verify all these properties. If you can verify this, if both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then it is a parallelogram. Once opposite sides are parallel, all the other properties will be found in the quadrilateral. The other properties, that is the opposite sides are equal, diagonals unequal, diagonals bisect each other. All these properties will be found. if in quadrilateral ABCD, opposite sides are parallel. If supposing you know that AB is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC, if you know that, see, ABCD is a quadrilateral, and if in this quadrilateral, if the opposite sides are parallel, then it's a parallelogram. All the other, you will find all the other properties of the parallelogram in this. That is what you see here. A quadrilateral is called a parallelogram if both pairs of its opposite sides are parallel. This is sufficient. In a quadrilateral, if both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, it is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram. Then what about the other properties? You will find all the other properties in it. You will see that the opposite sides are equal. Automatically, the opposite sides will be equal. Diagonals unequal. Diagonals will bisect each other. Opposite angles will be equal. All those properties will be found. You don't have to check all these properties. Simply if both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So that is the definition of a parallelogram. How do you define a parallelogram? A quadrilateral is called a parallelogram if both pairs of its opposite sides are parallel. A quadrilateral is called a parallelogram if both pairs of its opposite sides are parallel. So in this figure, in the adjoining figure, in this figure, ABCD is a quadrilateral. This one is a quadrilateral in which AB is parallel to DC and AD is parallel to BC. So it is a parallelogram. This is a quadrilateral. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are parallel. So it's a parallelogram. Now that it's a parallelogram, you will find all the other properties. Opposite sides will be equal. Diagonals will be unequal. Diagonals will bisect each other, but not at right angles. Opposite angles will be equal. All the properties will be found. Do we understand that, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can just start to, so what you should do is, you can write one more property. I think you have 5 already. Make this as a 6th one. Okay, so the heading is parallelogram, right? So you just say adjacent angles are supplementary. Just say adjacent angles are supplementary. Adjacent angles, adjacent AD, JA, CE and T. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Can someone explain that?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes.
When we add DC and CB, it gives the measure of 180 degrees, ma'am.
No, adjacent angles. Angles.
Ma'am, A, B, C and
You-
B, C, D are adjacent angles,
Use
ma'am.
a single letter to mention the angles. Use a single letter. Just say angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D. Use a single letter.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Angle B and C are adjacent angles, ma'am.
Okay. So,
And C, angle BC and DC, ma'am.
no, BC and DC. No, they are the sides. Don't mix up the sides and angles. The property is adjacent angles. Okay, let us understand the pairs of adjacent angles. Which are tell me the pairs of adjacent angles? Angle A and angle
C, ma'am.
Angle A and C are opposite angles.
Angle A and B, ma'am.
A and B are adjacent angles. A and B are adjacent angles. Then B and
C.
B and C,
B and C are adjacent angles. C and
D.
D, ma'am.
D are adjacent angles. Similarly, D and A are adjacent angles. So see here, adjacent angles. Angle A and angle B are adjacent angles. Angle B and angle C, adjacent angles. Angle C, angle D are adjacent angles. Angle D and angle A are adjacent angles. A and B form a pair of adjacent angles. B and C form a pair of adjacent angles. C and D form a pair of adjacent angles. D and A form a pair of adjacent angles. So how many pairs of adjacent angles in a parallelogram?
4, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
We have 4 pairs of adjacent angles. A and B, B and C, C and D, A and D. We have 4 pairs of adjacent angles. How many pairs of opposite angles we have?
2, ma'am.
2, ma'am.
We have 2 pairs of opposite angles. Which are they?
A and C, B and D, ma'am.
A and C, opposite pairs of opposite angles. A and C, B and D.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we know that opposite angles are equal. Supposing B is 110 degrees. D also will be 110 degrees because opposite angles are equal in a parallelogram. If B is 110, then D is also 110 because the properties in a parallelogram opposite angles are equal. Now this property, this last property which you've written says adjacent angles are supplementary. They're not equal, they're supplementary. What are supplementary angles?
They measure up to 180 degrees, ma'am.
Yeah, when the sum of two angles is 180, when the sum of two angles is 180 degrees, then they are said to be supplementary angles. When the sum of two angles is 90 degrees, they are called
Complementary angles.
complementary angles. Supplementary angles, complementary angles. When two angles sum up to 90 degrees. When two angles sum up to 90 degrees, or if the sum of two angles is equal to 90 degrees, then the two angles are said to be complementary angles. When the sum of two angles is equal to 180, they are said to be supplementary angles. Now tell me, children, if angle A is 60 degrees, what will be the measure of angle B?
120 degrees, ma'am.
120. Because A and B are adjacent angles. A and B are adjacent angles, and in a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary. That means they'll add up to 180. In a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary. So if this is 60 degrees, angle B will be 180 minus 60, 120 degrees. Now if B is 120, what is the measure of D?
120 degree, ma'am.
120, because what is the property in a parallelogram?
Opposite angles are equal.
Opposite angles are equal. So if B is 120, then D also will be, angle D will also be 120. What is the measure of angle C? What is the measure of angle A?
60 degree, ma'am. So angle C equals 60 degree.
60 degrees. So if you know one angle in a parallelogram, if you know one angle, you can find all the other angles. In a parallelogram, when you know one angle, you can find the measures of all the other angles. So now tell me, if supposing this is say 70 degrees. Okay, let's say 50 degrees. Angle A is 50 degrees. Angle A is 50. Then what is angle C? What's the measure of angle C?
130, ma'am.
50 degrees.
50 degrees, because opposite angles are equal. Angle A is 50, so C also will be 50 because opposite angles are equal. Angle A is 50, angle C is also 50. What will be the measure of angle D?
130 degree, ma'am.
130, because A and D are adjacent angles. Or you can say C and D are adjacent angles. Anything. A and D are adjacent angles, or C and D are adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are not equal, they are supplementary. So if A is 50 degrees, D has to be 180 minus 50, 130 degrees. D will be 130 degrees. So if D is 130, how much is angle B?
130 degrees, ma'am.
130 degree, ma'am.
Yeah, 130 because opposite angles are equal. So remember, a quadrilateral is called a parallelogram if both pairs of its opposite sides are parallel. And in this figure, because AB is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC, this is called a parallelogram. So I think you have the last property with you. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Very important. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the definition, children. What you see on the screen is a definition of a parallelogram. Now, what you have to do is, what you have noted down now are the properties. Roughly you've written. Now, what you have to do is first write this. Give the heading special types of quadrilaterals. Write this first, and then write the properties which you have in your book now. Give this heading special types of quadrilaterals. The first one is a parallelogram. Write this definition, write all this, draw this figure, write what you see on the screen here. And after this, give the heading properties of a parallelogram and write the points you have, the 6 points with you. Properties of a parallelogram and write the 6 points which you have in your book. Do we understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is a rhombus. Now rhombus, rectangle, square, all these are parallelograms. A rhombus is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. A square is a parallelogram. In a rhombus, its opposite sides are parallel because it's a parallelogram. Just 1 second, children. Yes, children. So I was telling you that a rhombus, square, and rectangle are all parallelograms. That means in these figures, their opposite sides are parallel. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Then they should have some extra property to be called. Now a rhombus is already a parallelogram. Then it's called a rhombus for some other property. That is what we are going to see. In a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. But in a rhombus, all the sides are equal. So a parallelogram in which all sides are equal is called a rhombus. Please remember this. A rhombus is a parallelogram because its opposite sides are parallel and it will have all the other properties of a parallelogram also. When you say a figure is a parallelogram, it will have all the properties of a parallelogram. Certain properties will be modified. That's why it's given a different name. Now see, in a parallelogram, only opposite sides are parallel. But in a rhombus, all the sides are parallel. All sides parallel also means opposite sides are parallel, right? When we say all the sides, equal. When we say all sides are, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. In a rhombus, all the sides are equal. When all sides are equal, opposite sides are also equal. A rhombus is a parallelogram. That's the first thing. A rhombus is a parallelogram. Then why is it called a rhombus? Because in a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. Yeah, here also opposite sides are parallel because a rhombus is a parallelogram. So opposite sides are parallel. In a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. But in a rhombus, all the sides are equal. In a rhombus, all sides are equal. AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. All the sides are equal. See, children, just give a number like say 5, 5, 5, 5. All the sides measure 5 centimeters. When all the sides measure 5 centimeters, opposite sides are also 5, right? Opposite sides also measure 5. When we say all sides are equal, it also means opposite sides are equal. No, you will think now all sides are equal. So then how is it a parallelogram? Because in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Yeah, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Here also opposite sides are equal. In fact, all the sides are equal. So the definition of a rhombus is a parallelogram. Remember, when we say a parallelogram, that means it has all the properties of a parallelogram. Some properties are modified. Like in a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. Here, all sides are equal, like that. So a parallelogram having all sides equal is called a rhombus. In a parallelogram, if all the sides are equal, because in a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. In a parallelogram, and all the sides are equal, it's called a rhombus. So in this figure is a parallelogram because AB is parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD. So it's a parallelogram. In this figure, AB is parallel to CD. It's marked here. You can see the arrow here. And also BC is parallel to AD. You can see the double arrows here. This side is parallel to this side. This side is parallel to this side. So it's a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. It's a parallelogram. And you can see they've marked AB, BC, CD, DA, all equal. All sides are equal. So it's a rhombus. Not only are the opposite sides parallel, but all sides are equal. If only opposite sides are equal, it's a parallelogram. All sides are equal. It's a rhombus. This is the definition of a rhombus, a parallelogram in which all sides are equal. So what you have to do is, children, take a screenshot of this one, write down this in your book first, and then the properties which I'm just going to tell you. Write down properties of a rhombus.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you told rectangle is also a rhombus, no, ma'am?
No, rectangle is a parallelogram, I said. Rhombus, rectangle and square. Rhombus, rectangle and square are all parallelograms. A rectangle is not a rhombus. A square is a rhombus.
Okay, ma'am.
A rectangle is parallelogram, ma'am.
Yeah, a rectangle is also a parallelogram. All are parallelograms. Rhombus is a parallelogram, rectangle is a parallelogram, square is a parallelogram. Yeah. Write down the properties of a rhombus. All sides equal. First one. All sides equal. 2. Diagonals unequal. Diagonals unequal. Diagonals bisect each other at right angles. Next one. First I said all sides equal. Then I said diagonals unequal. Next, diagonals bisect each other at right angles. Diagonals bisect each other at right angles. So all sides equal, diagonals unequal, diagonals bisect at right angles. That's a difference. In a parallelogram, diagonals don't bisect at right angles. Here the diagonals bisect at right angles.
Ma'am, that's it, ma'am.
Yeah, who's this?
I'm Devadarshini, ma'am.
Yeah, what did you ask me, Devdarshini?
Ma'am, that's all, ma'am, for the properties.
Oh, yeah. Other properties similar to that of a parallelogram. All other properties. Rhombus has all the properties of a parallelogram. That means adjacent sides are adjacent angles are supplementary. It has all the properties of a parallelogram.
Okay, ma'am.
That is, in a rhombus, opposite angles are equal. Angle A is equal to angle C, angle B is equal to angle D, because it's a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So in a rhombus also, opposite angles are equal. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Don't write all that, then it will become too much. We know a rhombus is a parallelogram. We know a rhombus is a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So in a rhombus also, opposite angles are equal. Adjacent angles are supplementary in a parallelogram. So in a rhombus also, adjacent angles are supplementary. The difference is, in a rhombus, all the sides are equal and the diagonals not only bisect each other, they bisect at right angles. These are the major differences. In a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal. In a rhombus, all sides are equal. In a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other, but not at right angles. Here they bisect each other at right angles. You can use all the other properties of a parallelogram.
Ma'am, while you are saying the properties for the parallelogram, my internet was poor, ma'am. Can you repeat the points, ma'am?
I think you can use a recording, Devadarshini.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you can use a recording. I'll share it today.
Okay, ma'am.
Because even Madhumita had the same issue.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Now this is a rectangle, children. A rectangle is also a parallelogram. You can see that there. A rectangle is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram in which
Ma'am,
each...
if we slightly tilt the sides means we'll get a parallelogram, ma'am.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes. A parallelogram in which each angle is a right angle is called a rectangle. This is the definition of a rectangle. This is the definition of a rectangle. If in a parallelogram, supposing you identify a figure as a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle, then the figure is called a rectangle. See, you observe a quadrilateral and you see that opposite sides are parallel. So you conclude that it's a parallelogram. Then in the parallelogram, you see that one angle. Now, if you call it ABCD, either A or B or C or D, one of the four angles you see is a right angle. Then it's a rectangle. Then that parallelogram is a rectangle. Then that parallelogram is a rectangle. So remember, a rectangle is a parallelogram. It has, other than the properties of a parallelogram, it has some special properties. So when you observe a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, you call it a parallelogram. Now, apart from this, if you notice that one angle is a right angle, apart from this, if you notice that one angle is a right angle, one angle is equal to 90 degrees, then you say it is a rectangle. Then the parallelogram is a rectangle. So the definition is, remember the definition, this is very important. A parallelogram in which each angle is a right angle is called a rectangle. If one angle is 90, automatically all will be 90. If one angle is 90, everything, because what is the property of a parallelogram? Supposing children, if angle A is 90, okay, angle A is 90. Now, it's a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. So if angle A is 90, angle C also will be 90 because opposite angles are equal, correct? Yes or no, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
When angle A is 90, because it's a parallelogram, C also will be 90.
Ma'am, also angle B will be 90 degree, ma'am, because the adjacent angles are supplementary. 90 plus 90 is 180.
Perfect. So angle B will be 90 because A and B are supplementary angles. A and B are adjacent angles and they are supplementary. So when A is 90 degrees, B will be 90 degrees because 90 plus 90, 180. A and B are supplementary angles. Now, when B is 90 degrees, D also will be 90 because opposite angles are equal. So you see that if one angle in a parallelogram, when one angle is a right angle, all the others also will be right angles. In a parallelogram, if one angle is 90 degrees, if one angle is 90, so if this is 90, automatically C is 90 because opposite angles are equal. Then B is 90 because A and B are adjacent angles. So if A is 90, B will be 180 minus 90, which is 90. If B is 90, opposite angles are equal. So D is also 90. So in a parallelogram, if one angle is a right angle, then it's a rectangle. Now write down properties of a rectangle. That is some exclusive properties. Write down. Diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal. So in a parallelogram and in a parallelogram and in a rhombus, diagonals were unequal. In a rectangle, diagonals are equal.
Yes, ma'am. In rhombus and parallelogram, One will be long, one will be longer and one will be shorter, ma'am.
Correct. Yes, that's what we mean by diagonals are unequal. Perfect. So here in a rectangle, diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal. Next one, diagonals bisect each other in brackets, but not at right angles. What have you written? Please read what you have in your
Can I
book.
say, ma'am? Diagonals are equal. Diagonals bisect each other, but not in right angles.
But not at right angles. At, but not at right angles. All right. So here the exclusive property is that the diagonals are equal. The diagonals also, they will bisect each other because it's a parallelogram. Diagonals will bisect each other. In a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. So in a rhombus, rectangle and square, diagonals will bisect each other because a rhombus is a parallelogram, rectangle is a parallelogram, a square is also a parallelogram. In a rectangle, diagonals bisect each other, but not at right angles. So please write the contents of this slide. So see here, in this figure, because opposite sides are parallel, it's a parallelogram. In this figure, opposite sides are parallel, so it's a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, you can say one angle is 90 degrees. Even if one angle is 90, it means all other angles are 90. So in the parallelogram, angle A, B, C, D, all are 90 degrees. In fact, if just one angle is 90, all the others will be 90 by the property. Opposite angles equal, adjacent angles supplementary. So in this figure, opposite sides are parallel and the angles are 90 degrees. So it's a rectangle. That's what you see here. A parallelogram in which each angle is a right angle. You can say each angle is a right angle, or you can say one angle is a right angle. Because when one angle is a right angle, all the other angles also will be right angles. Please write this and then the properties which you have in your book. We'll just wind up with this one. So a square, a square is a rhombus and a rectangle put together. In a rhombus, we said all sides are equal. And in a rectangle, we said each angle should be 90 degrees. So a parallelogram in which all sides are a parallelogram. See here, a parallel, not a quadrilateral, a parallelogram in which all sides are equal and each angle measures 90 degrees is called a square. In a rectangle, we saw each angle is a right angle. And then in a rhombus, all sides are equal. So rhombus and rectangle put together. A parallelogram in which all sides are equal and each angle measures 90 degrees is called a square. So again, a square has the properties of a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal and each angle measures 90 degrees. This is the definition. Now in this figure, opposite sides are parallel. You can see they're marked with arrows, single head arrows and double head arrows here. So since opposite sides are parallel, it is a parallelogram and all the sides are equal. In the parallelogram, all the sides are equal and all angles measure 90 degrees. So it is a square. See, opposite sides parallel. So that makes it a parallelogram. You must first say it's a parallelogram. It's a parallelogram, you can see here, because opposite sides are parallel. And in the parallelogram, all the sides are equal and the angles measure 90 degrees. So it is a square. So it is a square. A parallelogram in which all the sides are equal and each angle measures 90 degrees is called a square. Write down the properties of a square, some exclusive properties. Diagonals are equal and bisect each other at right angles. Diagonals are equal here. In a rectangle, diagonals are equal. In a square also, diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal. Maybe next point you can write diagonals bisect each other at right angles. First point, diagonals are equal. First point, diagonals are equal. We are talking about a square. The properties, exclusive properties of a square. First one, diagonals are equal. Like in a rectangle, diagonals are equal in a square also. Diagonals are equal. Second point, diagonals bisect each other at right angles. Diagonals bisect each other at right angles. So here the diagonals are equal and diagonals bisect each other at right angles. Because it's a parallelogram, they will bisect each other, but at right angles. They bisect each other at right angles. All right, children, complete all this in your book by the next class. Complete these also. Let's understand these in the next class. Take a picture. You can just have it written in your notebook. Take a screenshot.
Taken, ma'am.
Yeah, this one also.
Taken, ma'am.
We'll understand trapezium, isosceles trapezium and kite in the next class, but just complete these notes. Have these notes written in your book.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, should we leave some space for the properties?
Yeah, good question. Yes, I think you can. No, I think it's all here. No, you don't have to. No, I see.
After writing this, we can
No.
write title as exclusive properties, ma'am.
No, just write. Maybe if I say some more properties, you can give the headings later. Properties of a trapezium, kite, and whatever. You can
Okay, ma'am.
give them later. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children. Very important topic this is. So please understand carefully. Any questions, you can get it clarified in the next class. All right, children. So that's it for today's meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Children.